So the next thing I want to talk about is People's National Party vlogger Andre Stevens. Andre Stevens is one of the most popular vlogger out there that's vlogging on behalf of the People's National Party. And I remember after the election saying that I believe that the vloggers and sometimes the way how they vlog, especially on behalf of the People's National Party, is that they are going to be like a big disadvantage to the People's National Party going forward. Just because of the way that they vlog, because what they really do is just go and look for everything that is wrong in government, everything that is bad with the government, and sometimes that type of vlogging can come across as if you're vlogging against Jamaica also. So yes, sometimes you have to call out the government, hold the government accountable. But what I find with a lot of the vloggers is that if something good is happening, if for example, tourism is doing good, or we saw with the school bus system recently, they are not highlighting anything positive about Jamaica. So yes, I understand you're trying to go after the Jamaica Labour Party, but a lot of Jamaicans will see that as going after Jamaica because there's nothing good that you ever say about Jamaica. So Andre Stevens now is talking about what is going on in the Caribbean. In his recent podcast that he did, was talking about what is going on in the Caribbean in terms of the Trump administration and the so-called war on drugs in the Caribbean. And we have seen recently the bombing of boats in the Caribbean. So Andre Stevens is coming out and he's pretty much calling out the Prime Minister and the Foreign Affairs Minister about what is going on in the Caribbean. And as I said, yes, sometimes you can call out the leaders, you have to hold them accountable. But is it the right way that it's been done? And is what Andre is saying about the Prime Minister now, is that valid? So this is what Andre Stevens had to say about the Prime Minister and the Foreign Affairs Minister.
So nobody wants to stand up.
Nobody.
In this government. No one wants to stand up against Trump's foreign policy. The CARICOM chairman is silent. And your fisherman, your fisher folk, your family is vulnerable at sea. Because if Trump believes are drugs, the satellite will just shoot it down. The satellite will just do what? Shoot it down, Courtney. Yeah. But thanks for men like Percival James Patterson. PJ came out this morning swinging.
So, with all due respect to PJ Patterson, and PJ Patterson is someone that I respected for a long time. But I believe that sometimes when you are retired, especially PJ Patterson that I think is in his 90s now, to stay on the sideline and to criticize is very, very dangerous. Like what is going on in the Caribbean now is not something that any one leader in the Caribbean can stop. And for PJ Patterson to come out and to be pretty much what he's trying to do now is going to reflect bad on the Prime Minister of Jamaica. And I think PJ Patterson is retired. He's been retired for years. And I think he should just enjoy his retirement and stay out of politics. If you want to do mentorship on the side, do that. But anything that what we see going on in the Caribbean now is not as simple as that. We're dealing with a crazy person in Donald Trump. So for PJ Patterson to stay on the sideline and to call this, I think that is out of bounds. So I think PJ Patterson should just enjoy his retirement and stay out of politics.
PJ came out this morning saying it's a dangerous and horrible road that the U.S. foreign policy has taken. Why can't Wholeness talk on behalf of the Jamaican people? Why can't Wholeness talk on behalf of the CARICOM people? Why can't Wholeness talk? Him don't have no balls, him don't have no grits. It's not that he cannot talk, he's compromised. It's not that he cannot talk, Courtney. He's compromised. Compromised Jamaica. knows what the US knows about him. He knows what Rubio knows about him. He knows what they have on him. Weak jellyback fish. Weak jellyback fish. You remember when I talk to me, I talk about Mark holding out jellyback. It was Andrew Michael Holness put up in picture. The weak jellyback fish. He has no testicular fortitude. No testicular fortitude, Jamaica. None whatsoever. No testicular fortitude.
Yes, so this type of behavior is what I'm talking about. This is what you call political tribalism. And this, what you see Andre doing, this just serve as entertainment. That is all that this is, entertainment. Because you don't know what is going on behind the scene. Kamina Johnson-Smith and the Prime Minister of Jamaica, things that go on in CARICOM, 90% of the things that's discussed in CARICOM, we do not hear it. A lot of things are happening behind the scene. And a lot of regular, everyday Caribbean people don't really follow up with the CARICOM meetings every month that they have. So you don't know what is going on behind the scene in terms of the Prime Minister talking to leaders in CARICOM. And even though, yes, the Prime Minister is the head of CARICOM, the chair of CARICOM for up until December, but what is going on in the Caribbean now with the Trump administration is an individual thing, because yes, we are part of a body of in CARICOM, but at the end of the day, all members of CARICOM are still sovereign nation, and this is something that I've been tracking. And when you look what is going on in Grenada and the Grenadian government, they are dealing with that situation, meeting with the Trump administration, meeting with people that want to install military assets in their country. They are doing that as a sovereign country. Antigua Barbuda is doing the same. So this is not something that the Prime Minister of Jamaica have any jurisdiction over. Yes, he's the head of CARICOM, but CARICOM is more of a trading bloc. It's, at the end of the day, the individual islands are still sovereign and they are working on their own democracy by themselves, and this has nothing to do with the Prime Minister. So can the Prime Minister come out and make a statement? Yes, the Prime Minister can come out and make a statement. But we have seen statement from China, we have seen statement from Russia, we have seen statement from all over the world, and nothing changed. So the Prime Minister of Jamaica doesn't have the power to put out a statement and all of a sudden Donald Trump stopped bombing boats in the Caribbean. So as I said, this is counterproductive, and this to me is just entertainment.
So Wallace is protecting his visa. He's a wimp. He's a wimp, Jamaica. Fisher folks, be careful out there. Are you aware that a Trinidadian fisherman was killed in the Venezuelan attack?
This is all entertainment, nothing but entertainment. Because you're saying no, because the Prime Minister did not come out with some strong statement condemning the Trump administration, that the Prime Minister of Jamaica is worried about his visa. That is a bunch of nonsense. Because the reality is that the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, she came out numerous times in support of Donald Trump and what Donald Trump is doing. She's the only Prime Minister in the Caribbean that came out and she's supporting the Trump administration. And out of her mouth, her words was like, bomb them to pieces. That is what she said. And now we're seeing that 2 fishermen in Trinidad and Tobago lost their life. And the media is reaching out for her to make a statement, and she's still standing her ground and saying that she agree with what is going on, despite people, her citizens, being casualty in this latest bombing. So what should the Prime Minister of Jamaica do? If the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago is standing her ground in support of the Trump administration, why should the Jamaican Prime Minister get involved? When you look at the Caribbean map and you look at where Jamaica is located, you look at where Trinidad is located, and compare that to where the military assets are, close to Trinidad, close to Venezuela, close to Guyana, that is nowhere close to Jamaica. So to make this seem like, look, Jamaican fishermen, like this is going to affect us and the Prime Minister should come out strong, even though the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago is supporting Donald Trump, that is just a bunch of nonsense. That is nonsense.
And Kamina Johnson-Smith as Foreign Affairs Minister. Silent. Maritime laws. You cannot enter another foreign territory's water like that. Killing of people. 2 Trinidadians were killed. And you're telling me Trump must continue doing what he's doing like this? The sovereignty of the Caribbean people were breached. The sovereignty of the Caribbean people were breached. The sovereignty of your Caribbean neighbors were breached.
So this is what happened when people try to have conversation about things that they understand nothing about. Because the head of CARICOM and the Foreign Affairs Minister, Kamina Johnson-Smith is one of the hardest working people, one of the hardest working Foreign Affairs Minister out there today. And that is not even debatable. Kamina Johnson-Smith is very hard working. Whether you're a PNP or JLP, you should be able to admit that. And even during the election, when the election was going on, she was still communicating with leaders in CARICOM about, right when the election was taking place, the CARICOM heads of government had a Caribbean and Africa Union meeting in Addis Ababa, and Kamina Johnson-Smith was working during those times. So not everything that takes place in CARICOM you're going to hear about on the media, and not because the Prime Minister and not because the Foreign Affairs Minister is not out there putting out article or out there giving interview about what is going on. It doesn't mean that they're not in communication with the rest of the head of CARICOM. So this, as I said, this is just entertainment, and this is one of the danger of political tribalism. And as I said, I believe that this is going to be a disadvantage to the People's National Party, because Jamaicans are going to just be fed up of if every day they get up and they are listening to podcasters and vloggers and everything they're talking about is negative, like nothing good is happening in Jamaica. Nothing at all good is happening in Jamaica. This is not a good sign.
All right, Jamaica, good morning. I am here seated at the University of the West Indies. I just dropped off a student from the UE who I picked up from the U.S. Embassy. Long story short, I went by the U.S. Embassy this morning to do a video to talk about how America or Americans are allowed to come into our country right here in Jamaica, and they can peruse right across the length and breadth of Jamaica on our beaches in flip-flop slippers, Hawaiian shirts, drinking margarita, while Jamaicans are suffering. I just picked up a student from UE who went there to just get a simple visa for vacation. Yeah? And to know that this is a third-year student at the university. This is not some hoodlum. And they just asked her 2 questions. Who she going to? She said she going to her godmother. Yeah? And they asked her one other little question. And they said, no, sorry. And they turned her down. You know how much that cost her? 185 US, which is approximately 30,000 Jamaican dollars. She probably paid some money to get the form filled out and everything, and transportation expense. Now this young lady, I dropped her off here because her entire meds mess up. And Americans it's okay for Americans to just come into our country. They bomb us. Donald Trump is now bombing bus. 3 boats, them bomb up in the water, in the Caribbean waters. And the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the opposition leader in Jamaica, is quiet. While Caribbean people are scared, afraid to go into hidden waters. It cannot work, and it cannot continue. We have a Prime Minister right now. As a matter of fact, the entire government, we have one of the most incompetent, one of the most disgusting set of Jamaicans to represent us in that parliament. And it is time for us to wake up. Everybody keep telling me, Marvin, you must be careful, Marvin. Me not afraid of nobody. And America, I am sending a message to Donald Trump. You need to be put into your place. You come into the Caribbean waters and you're starting a war. You have submarines. You have warships and everything because you're going after Venezuela. You think we're idiots or stupid? You want to take control of everybody's land. You all people who go around and destabilize people's economy and drive people crazy. Well, I am standing up as a Jamaican. My name is Marvin Adrian Edgar. And you, Donald Trump, better know this name. Because in Jamaica, we don't have anybody fighting for the people. You cannot have 3 million Americans feeling free to just casually take their vacation to Jamaica while Jamaicans are suffering. And I'm sending this message to Kamina Johnson-Smith. You are the minister, the foreign minister who should stand up for Jamaicans where it is America's right to deny us of their visa. But when they do, 80% of the monies paid must go back to Jamaican citizens because we have students here, we have nurses and soldiers and police and government workers and ordinary Jamaicans who just simply want to go vacationing, and you just casually deny people and their monies just go down the drain like that. It needs to stop, and if it doesn't stop, I promise you I am going to be the one to lead a revolt in this country that is going to be unprecedented. We are sick, we're tired of America going around and destabilizing people and treating people as though you want to treat people. Enough is a friggin' enough. Enough is enough. Thank you very much. Watch.
Okay, so my final thoughts on all of this. I think that this is getting really played out. And this reminds me of the story about the wolf. Like if you keep calling wolf and one day when the wolf really show up and you're calling out wolf, nobody's going to believe you. Because the thing is, we can't just continue blaming the Prime Minister of Jamaica for every single thing. What is going on in CARICOM right now? What is going on with the Trump administration? This is nothing to blame the Prime Minister for. Nothing. Like, as I said, we see China, we see Canada, we see the United Kingdom, the European Union. Every single country on the face of this earth is fighting this Trump administration now. So for people to be coming out and to be blaming the Prime Minister for things that the Prime Minister have no control of, this is counterproductive, and this is not serving the interests of Jamaica or Jamaicans. And I'm a bit surprised to see that the embassy, the American embassy in Jamaica is still full. I'm surprised that a lot of people are still wasting their money going to the American embassy in this time that we're living in, when we see what is going on in America with ICE police officers are arresting people and some of the inhumane way that they have been treated. I am very surprised. Like, I have not been in America since the Trump administration, and I made up my mind that, look, I don't think I'm going to enter that country if things continue this way, because I don't want to be going, because I live very close. Like, I am like less than 2 hours. I can drive across the border and go shopping, and I don't want to be in a position where I'm there shopping and I get arrested and end up in some ICE facilities. And we've seen it happen to Canadians. We have seen it happen to Australians. We have seen it happen to people from the Caribbean and all over the world. So I'm surprised that Jamaicans are still wasting their money, still taking this risk. And I'm like, why? Just take a break. There are other countries in the world. You can go to Canada, you can go to Australia, China, you can go to Africa. Any of these African countries are welcoming of us. So I'm not getting it. I don't know if I'm missing something, but for Jamaicans to still be going to the embassy and to be complaining about visa and the cost, even with the increased cost that we saw in some of the visa that now you're going to have to pay like a fee that they said that will be returned to you. Like, I don't know why people are still coming up with this thousands of dollars just to get an American visa or just to get turned down. So I don't know. That maybe it's just me. But guys, sound off in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on this. What do you think about the Prime Minister of Jamaica and the Foreign Affairs Minister not being outspoken about what is going on in the Caribbean, especially the Venezuelan and the American, the so-called war on drugs. Do you believe that the Prime Minister of Jamaica should be out there talking more about what is going on between the Americans and the Venezuelans? Let me know in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.